Hi, I'm Cyril, and I would like to talk about the persistent issue with the sequel trilogy. Fans like myself who were brought into the franchise by the prequel trilogy note that there's a surprising lack of political context to the sequel trilogy. The franchise is called Star Wars, and wars are political by nature. Without the political context, you just have pretty action scenes and set pieces. The original trilogy had very simple politics, but it was there. The evil empire who believes in using a waste of taxpayer money to bully their way into controlling everything is bad. The band of rebels who want to restore a proper representative democracy not predicated by a giant exploding waste of taxpayer money is good. Then there's the prequel trilogy, which is even more didactic with its politics since the overarching theme is corruption of democracy and the gradual fall into autocracy. Now, there is an argument to be made. The story of the prequels was the political machinations that led to the rise of the Empire. The story of the originals is the rising above all odds against a hopeless situation. The story of the sequels is the story of Rey and Kylo Ren. I don't particularly hold that sentiment since you can have politics and tell personal stories. The Empire Strikes Back at its core is the story of Luke and Vader. The rebellion wasn't particularly the biggest part of that. Whereas the most politics we got out of the sequels was the Canto Bight war profiteering bit. I think the reason why people are generally uninterested in the First Order Resistance conflict is just how much we don't know about the conflict's participants itself. The First Order, pretty simple. They are the remnants of the Empire who hid out in the middle of nowhere and want to reassert their authority. Just generic bad guy stuff. That's fine as a villain. The New Republic, in contrast, gets blown up. We know nothing about the New Republic as a whole. Our biggest emotional connection to them is that they are what the rebellion died for. This is what the fleet at Endor was fighting for. This was what everyone on Scarif got blown up for. We just know that the New Republic died on Hosnian Prime. We don't really know their relationship between them and the Resistance, although there is some kind of relationship between them because Leia is leading the Resistance. And we don't even get the honor of saying it was anyone's homeworld. If you wanted to know what galactic politics looked like, you would need to read Claudia Gray's novel Bloodline. It's a great novel, but seriously, I don't like reading supplementary material to understand the movies in front of us, especially if they are hours on end, like a space opera, aka Star Wars. And it's really not good to have all the politics shoved to the side for the casual audience who will watch the movies and maybe occasionally the cartoons, but not viciously like the diehard fandom is. There's also the matter of scale. The lack of politics makes the scale look very minute. I know Star Wars isn't the best at scaling, but this is where it gets to the, am I really going to suspend my disbelief for this part? Where the Resistance is written like the Rebel Alliance and the First Order is written like the Empire. Because apparently Snoke had tons of ships and troops on standby after losing a Pluto-sized superweapon. The Last Jedi is an immediate sequel to The Force Awakens. Basically, this happened in a matter of hours, a day at most. What? If the First Order was this powerful, then why didn't we get a montage of them conquering worlds and raising flags on them? I mean, as a whole, The Last Jedi scale is pretty small, but still, not even a montage? Not even a line from Maz Kanata? It constantly feels like there should be some kind of footnote after every single line. The sheer scope of the conflict is so small and so undefined, it is more grating than it should be. Even the Citizens' fleet at the end of Rise of Skywalker is a negated moment of triumph, just because we know nothing about these people. Where have you been since, the destruction of the Hosnian system? Just why? I mean, this could just be rectified with a montage. It's not hard. But this is just one jaded fan's perspective on the matter. I know people didn't like the politics of the prequels, but you didn't have to overcorrect and just excise them completely out of the sequels. Even the original trilogy had the proper amount of context to know, okay, these are the good guys, this is what they're fighting for. These are the bad guys, they're just fighting to save their own skins. What is the Resistance fighting for again? Are they fighting to save their own skins? Are they fighting to save democracy? Why should the New Republic be restored? They were destroyed in one fell swoop. But this is where I'll have to end the video. I can rant on for a while.